What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Let me turn this down a little bit here. Can I get a quick sound check? And then we will get started. Let's see here. Sound check. All clear. Alright. Sounds good. Just a tad more. Alright guys, let's go here. We got Bitcoin up on the screen. So looks like we got our breakout last night, or yeah, I guess last night, this morning, early this morning maybe. This is a 4-hour chart, so yeah, it was last night, late last night. Okay, so basically what kind of happens here is I usually see a couple things play out. Okay, so what I was talking about is after we break out and we kind of hit the level we were targeting up here, like that 63 area, you know, I wanted potential sell-off here. That's the reason I scaled a little bit off the table. On Bitcoin, not as much as I did on ETH and Litecoin. I took a lot more there, but Bitcoin only took 30% off, left 70. Did the opposite on ETH, took 70, left 30. Anyways, I was hoping for this small pullback, but sometimes before you get it, you end up just a little bit more max pain, right? So you're gonna go up a little bit more max pain, and then you might see it. So you still end up getting it, so you ought to be careful. It's still not done. That's just kind of usually how I see these like breakouts. They basically, you'll have this big impulse candle like you did, right? This big breakout candle, and then they almost paint like a channel on a low time frame, like an upsloping kind of channel like this, almost like you're flagging, and then they'll break out of that channel to the upside, right? So, and then you fake out, wham. I don't know, something like that. We just gotta be on our toes here. Anyway, so why do we think maybe a possible pullback is because if we were to fib, right, from this A low, or from that A high to this D low here, where's the D low? Right there. You could see we hit the 1618, and now we're just above it. So remember, we kind of talked about there being like an optimal entry kind of situation, and then sometimes we get above that even and we paint something else, you know. This would be like a target completion zone target, and then this up here is more of an optimal entry area. But either way, this is not somewhere that you would want to be shorting. This is just somewhere that I took a little off, and if we get a small pullback and we backtest the previous levels, we might not go back down and backtest the neckline of these previous highs. We might be above and holding those already, which would be good to see. We might only backtest the previous local level, so we'll mark that a different color. We'll mark the local level yellow. So if we only go test the local level, that means we also have this as well. Okay, so as far as like the local high goes and the previous all-time high, that's kind of so here's like your local high, right? Local high, and then previous all-time high. Okay, so see how that's kind of this new level here if we zoom in. So if we get a small pullback here, potentially you only see it to like 61,500, okay, this previous high, and at that point we would probably be painting some kind of hidden bullish divergence again, just like we did down here. We painted again right here. You know, you run up a little more, you end up selling off, you find this level as support here, and you run again. Okay, so that's how we're gonna get from here to 65, 67, 69k targets. Okay, so Let me just zoom back here a little bit again one more time so you guys can see we have this target up here, 69,900, excuse me, 69,000 even. It might go a little over it, but whatever. We're just marking 69K right now as a major area of interest. We're just taking this back to this green initial neckline. It comes almost where this A high was here. And then we'll clone that measured move and we'll bring it up here. And this is kind of what we're more looking for as far as our breakout of this this area. Okay, you see that? So if we're expecting price up here, you know, we're not shorting this level yet, right? We're just buying dips all the way up, buying pullbacks all the way up. And maybe, you know, ideally it seems like you're running some kind of trend line here, right? So maybe you pull back, touch this trend line somewhere in this green yellow box here, and then you just ride that trend line up, flag, like upsloping flag again, and then break up out of the channel again to the upside. It just gets too bullish. This is that parabola that we keep talking about on some of the other assets. Finally, you're seeing it here on Bitcoin now because you've broken up out of that high, right? So this is kind of where you would get that back test of the trend line, of the parabola, and then you just keep running this thing, and you're gonna end up getting far away from it too, which means, you know, in order to get far away from it, this has to kind of happen fairly fast, touch it maybe, and then just kind of you just find yourself further away from it by the time you get to the top, because the further away from it you are, maybe it ends up being kind of out here, right? See what I'm saying? The further away from it you are, the just greater need to go touch it. It's kind of like a large moving average, like a 200-day moving average or something. You know, you often find yourself testing it either as support or as resistance, and when you get far enough away from it, you have to go back and find it. It's just your equilibrium. You don't have to immediately find it, but, you know, give it a second and you'll check back, and eventually you'll be like, yep, look at that, sure enough, we touched a 200 again. So just think of that parabolic line curve like that, okay? So yeah, on the oscillators, the reason we kind of want to watch out here is, let me delete these low time frame ones. We're kind of diverging here, developing a little bit of low time frame bearish divergence. This is something we might need to reset. Okay, can we still run more? Sure, we could 3x it, but you see the momentum was starting to wane. You're putting in your first white bar there. Then we talked about the RSI. We're above the top side of the, you know, this big channel of it, so we're talking about back testing just the heart line again to reset. We don't have to go all the way, but if you look at the RSI, you're also diverging bearishly here. Okay, so you have bearish divergence on the MACD, bearish divergence on the RSI. That is coming from price action up here. Okay, so on the MACD, it's coming from this island up to this other previous high. Okay, so we got to watch out for that. Makes sense. Pull back a little bit, scrub off this divergence, bearish divergence, paint some hidden bull or some classic bull in this back tested zone, and then run again to the highs. Okay, guys. Ethereum, similar situation here where we've hit that target area. Okay, so what we had talked about on ETH is that zone. Okay, so sorry guys, let me go back to it. Didn't mean to do that. We were talking about this zone between basically 2200 and 2300, and it's that green box here. So what that zone was for us was these overhead fib extensions from the A high to the D low of this harmonic. Okay, so you can see we got in this zone between the 1272, the 1414, and the 1618, and now we're proceeding to sell off. Okay, did we wick through them all? Sure, we just made sure we got the job done, right? but now, you know, we're starting to fail. But Bitcoin's painting some divergence. Again, nothing as crazy here on the MACD as it is on Bitcoin. You're kind of showing more convergence. The RSI looking like it wants to roll over, but again, not the same divergence that Bitcoin had. So more than likely, ETH is just going to kind of follow Bitcoin anyways, just because Bitcoin's like that. But I don't expect too crazy of a retrace here. Again, let's say we just retrace the back of this, the bottom of this news of this box, and get back into it, kind of like that. And all we did there was kind of test these previous highs, okay? Something like that. Even if you go all the way to the yellow and you hit this complete square up down here, again, it's not the end of the world. I would expect to get bought up really quick. That's this wick right here, okay? So the first one, the first big sell-off, that would be this one getting into the zone, right? That would be this first one. Then the second wick, that's how you get the square up. That's how you get the yellow lines, right? So that's how you get this second one. Either way, I don't expect this. Like I said, I pulled 70 off in this zone, okay? So as we were hitting all this 1272, 1414, 1618, I was filling take profit orders, and now as we retrace, if I can get it, I'm going to add that back on. As soon as we paint the hidden bullish divergence at one of these levels, I'm going to stack it back on. Aside from that, is it possible we hold the top of this and just never go back below it? Sure. That's why I always kept a little running there. If that happens, we're targeting the 2450 to 2500 area ultimately anyways. Regardless of what happens, it's still our target. Just depends on how much of a reset. You can reset by going sideways also, okay? You could consolidate here above what was once resistance, now flipped into support. You could consolidate up there and just chop sideways, reset the oscillators, paint the hidden bull run again from a sideways chop. So there's two ways we could do this. Both of them would be bullish continuation, okay? Even if we sell off a little bit, it's still bullish selling. It's just a reset, just to stop a few people out, get a few people scared, get a few people to think top's in. All just noise, okay? We're targeting much higher prices ultimately. Takes them off, but re-add it, and then, you know, of course, keeps them running. That is Ethereum. Litecoin, again, look at this. We hit our target area, the 1272, and no more, right? There was a reason that we painted this as a target, okay? So would it be outside of the realm of possibilities to come back, test these levels, okay? So previous X high, there's a level, and then the previous neckline, there's a level. So it depends. Is Bitcoin going to give you a retrace level 1 or level 2? Bitcoin level 1, you get this one, right? Bitcoin level 2, you keep going and you get this one. Ultimately, you shouldn't see price below 200, even below 210 again, until you get up into the probably $300 range. So I would make a bet right here at, you know, that of course you're closer to 300 than you are to 200, but I would say you're going to see 300 before you see 200. You might backtest 250, but aside from that, maybe you square up right here at like 244. That's like worst case scenario. I think you're pretty much full steam on, and we hit remember we talked about this? I was like, we're going to be saying that we hit the 1272 at 272, and I mean, I don't know, it might go up from here, but either way, it hit it, we filled, I took some off, and that's it. That's all I care about. Okay, we hit this target. We bought much lower levels, way lower levels here. Okay, I know some of you guys are still in this bag that we entered from this original harmonic in purple, which was a bullish bat pattern. We sent it down here off this inverse head and shoulders, bullish bat, 180 target entry, and now we're running slam head into a D target entry for short potentially of a bearish butterfly. And again, we have to be careful on the butterfly because butterflies start at the 1272, and that could be just enough to initiate a reaction because you hit a significant fib level. Okay, so let's mark the fibs again from X high to the A low, and you're gonna see in yellow here we hit the 1272 at 272, right? That's what we had marked. Okay, so that gives you a potential small reaction. You back test the previous X high, that's it, no more. Then you finish her off and you continue up to the 1414, which will be at 185, and then you continue up to 300 to the 1618. Okay, so it's even a little over it. It's like 304, 303, 305. Make sure you sweep it good, right? But yeah, that's how we kind of would reset, break, back test, go. Okay, Litecoin looking for 300. Of course, even though I said 305, I'm probably gonna front run 300 anyways, just because it's such a psychological round number that I'm gonna probably shave it at like 295 to 297, 98 area. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Just makes more sense. Okay, so YFI, we entered much lower levels here. Okay, so the entry was down here, right? So you could see where this entry for some of you guys was. I know not all of you guys were in here when we got this entry, but some of you are still holding this. So what you had here was this low in price, this higher low. You developed a structure, right? We painted this neckline. And I mean, let's call this, there's so many places that this could be. I would have to say it's here though. Okay, so we paint this neckline. We've breaking out of this. We almost painted a harmonic here, a low time frame, kind of hard, scrubby little guy there. Just enough to kick us a little reaction back, Tracy. X, A, B, C, D. Okay, so that basically was a butterfly there as well. So you had a small butterfly. Sell off, and now you're painting, and now you've painted basically a Gartley. The Gartley is now a low time frame Gartley on the 4 hour, but this is significant enough that on this low time frame Gartley here, above this previous neckline that we have in white down here, we're going to paint the fibs from the A high to the D low on this Gartley, and you're going to see this money zone up here between the 1272, 1414, and 1618. Okay, this is that overhead resistance area that we're looking for as again, just another area that we're going to find some resistance, just like down here. Okay, you hit this harmonic, you sell off, you back tested the B. It's not the end of the world, but you still sold off. Okay, so something like this happens here. Maybe you get a little reaction here. You ultimately hit the C, break back above it, hold it. You hit the A, break above that, hold it. You hit the money zone, and then maybe you back test like the C or even the previous B, right, of the harmonic. Oh, and then you run again. So just something to be mindful of. That's why we have that money zone painted. If you want to lock in some gains, that's where you would make some money. Between, basically you're going to crack 50,000 and you're going to take a little profit between 51,250 and 53,700, 53,800 even. That's YFI. Okay, so next we have Dash. Sorry, I was just checking this chat here. Okay, so next we have Dash. Let me zoom back out. All right, so Dash here has hit target 1. Okay, look at that. Okay, what was target 1? Target 1 was a measured move. Okay, so let's take this previous double bottom. We had a Bolkowski double bottom here. So we're going to take this previous low and we're going to pull it up to this neckline. We're gonna take that 30% move, clone it. As we move it, the move changes in percentage because the price changes. So what was a 32% move here is now only a 24 here, but that's because price is higher. The percentage change is lower. You know, it takes a much more drastic move in price to move a percentage, right? Okay. So anyways, we hit the measured move exactly and proceeded to basically kind of sell off and never got back to that level. So we need to break that. That was basically that psychological 300, and we're now at 294. So you got dashed to 300. If you bought this double bottom down here, and why would you have bought it? Because, let me go to the daily. Let me do it this way, because if I don't, it won't give us the right data here. If I just go to the 24 hour. Okay, we got the daily. Let's go back. Okay, so what would you have been looking for here on a significant time frame where we like to paint our patterns? On the daily, you had this very apparent double bottom, right? Very discernible. And look at the divergence. You kind of, not divergence so much because you had an equal low, but as you put in that second on the right equal low in price, you put in much lower levels of negative momentum on the MACD, right? So you see how these two lows were equal and they aligned with that island there, those negative histogram islands on the MACD. Okay, so what have we done now? We hit target 1. Okay, so we're back testing, or we need to get up and back test target 1, and then we can look for target 2. Target 2 is basically this square up here. Okay, it's probably the 886. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, basically it's the 886. You can see that 886 fib level. I don't even know if I grabbed this all the way up. Yeah, okay. So if you want, you could dial that in just a hair. You see that? Just bring it to the 886, which is 318.92, basically 319. That would be the 886. And then target 3 up here is a 1272. Okay, target 3, 1272, $380 on dash to 380. Again, you need to keep breaking and holding these levels if you want to see the higher levels. If you back test this neckline again, would it be crazy? No, but you pretty much, you back tested perfect. We alerted this the other when we did this yesterday, I think it was. I said, hey, dash, we got the break, and then I alerted the hook. I said all we need left is the go, and we got the go. All right, we were a full go, full send, dash. Sorry. Chain link here. Looks like we are approaching the first significant target here, which will be the 1272 fib level extension. It's also more than likely going to be a measured move of some sort. Let's see what we had going on here. Okay, so first of all, let's throw the fib up there from the previous high to low. Okay, so we got a 1272 up in that area. Looks like this target's going for the 1618 up top there. Okay, so we got a 1272. Let's see what we had as far as a measured move. Let's see here. If we took this structure and we went up to this target, I don't know if that's gonna work. Yeah, it is. Okay. All right, that's what we did, guys. All right, I'm just kind of retracing our footsteps here, backtracking here. Okay, so we indeed took this this higher low bottom. We measured it to this discernible close here that created this neckline that we then, you know, resistance, finally broke, back tested, nice, you know, really engulfing and hook and go. And now follow through price action, confirming target 39.85, basically $40. Chain link going to 40. What will that do? That'll sweep the highs. Okay, it's going to make sense. We sweep the highs, put in the 40, back test the previous highs, which will then SR flip, right? So here's that previous high. Let's make that, we'll make it like pink. Okay, so we need to basically, price needs to continue up. We need to hit this target, $40. We need to back test the previous high at 37, and we need to hold that, okay? And then we can run up, break this high again, and then we can see higher price action, okay? Ultimately, we're looking for $45, 45 on Chainlink. Ethereum Classic approaching target 3, okay? So what is target 3 here on Ethereum Classic? It's probably the 1618, okay? So there's your 1414, target 3. So we still have a potential 4th target. If Bitcoin's going to keep running here, you could see another target up here, 1618. So this may not be quite over yet for Ethereum Classic, but you're definitely approaching, and actually you've already hit it. You've already hit this take profit target level. So yeah, locked in already some gains. Okay guys, and also since you had this higher low here, see where you painted this previous, this was one of the cleanest one of them all. Look how clean this was. Even if you brought this down a hair just onto the close, like this clear neckline back test, right? And then again, back test, hold it, go. So very clean price action here on Ethereum Classic. And what I was saying is, because you have a higher low, remember that previous chart had a equal low? So we could go from the high to the low to the partial retrace to the partial decline to the overhead breakout 1414, ultimately 1618. Okay, so that would be a bearish butterfly in the works. Okay, so as we approach this next area, we need to be very mindful at one of these areas that we could see a potential nasty reverse. All right, no joke, that's a lot of impulse up. Okay, it's a lot of impulse up for one leg. Okay, what we typically like to see here next have happen is we create a different type of structure here. So we run up XA, we back test somewhere, maybe Dow's theory 50% retrace, we run back up, we hit something like this, and then that's how we end up back at this previous neckline, 786, right? So there's where we would find our harmonics kind of aligning, right? Perfect storm type of harmonics within harmonics type of situation. Let's make this orange, something like that, right? Okay, moving on. All right, Ethereum Classic, we'd be looking for something like this, starting to paint some kind of Wyckoff if you get it. There's going to be two kinds. This could be Wyckoff accumulation at, basically you'd be like consolidating at resistance for some kind of accumulation for continuation, right? Or this is going to be a Wyckoff distribution, and you're going to paint this harmonic, but once this harmonic paints, you're going to create a third one, and that's going to be another type of bearish harmonic, right? You'll paint this off the back end now, and this is how you end up getting this is how you end up getting that, again, breakout, which just ends up setting a nasty trap here, and then that's where you really sell off, and you find then you fall out of the range finally, right? So if I were a range and I took myself from this A low, this A low here, I brought myself over and I went up and I created a top of the range at this D. So you could see how this range middle would line up with that previous high on that harmonic, you know what I mean? So that kind of thing, I don't know, We have a lot of work to do, but that's the kind of structure we look for. Okay. You're looking at butting against this target again. You got to break above 22. You'll see 23. If you could break above that, that'll be interesting. I don't think you do. I think 23 is probably going to be it for a while on Ethereum Classic. Okay, see, here's what happens when we hit take profit targets. A lot of times people complain initially when we hit a take profit target, but then when they fail to do so and it sells off and it's going back to the mid-range, they're like, oh shit, I might have just left a bunch on the table. They're marketing out here. Because look at that wick. Even if you backtrace this and it takes 3 candles and you can't even take it back to the beginning of it, that's still bullish. Okay, so it's just a reset. We're gonna run the range high again. The next time we hit it, we'll break it, back test it, go. Okay, potential trade either at the back test of the range high, hook and go, or if you get the range midpoint, you could potentially load back up and go. Okay, but maker, I mean, we were in down here again, double bottom, right? We had the Bukowski double bottom. We had the structure with the higher low or the lower levels of negative momentum at the equal low on price, right? And then we proceeded to put even in a higher low. We painted a neckline, we broke it, we back tested it, and we sent it to the top of the range. Okay, give me one quick second here, guys. Alright, sorry. Okay, so maker trade basically complete on that. Yeah, that thing was gonna sell off. This is CHR on the daily. Let me go back to the 4 hour here. Okay. So 4 hour price action. Let's zoom out a little here. Okay, so guys, what did we just see on Maker? Okay, we just painted this. All right. Okay, so we got this double bottom in price. Remember, we just saw that. We just painted this. Then what did Maker do? It proceeded to then after the equal double bottom right here, right? You had a double bottom, and on this one, see how this is a slightly higher low than over here. So that's an even better sign that it wasn't equal lows. And look at this. On the daily, I'm sorry, it's on the daily, but either way, your negative momentum is drying up even on the 4 hour. Okay, you have nowhere left to go. Same thing on the RSI. You swung it and you're just continuing to make higher levels of relative strength. On the daily, those oscillators look really nice. Okay, so we got this higher low here. We have this double bottom. We now take our measured move, right? So we took this measured move, we cloned it, we brought it up here, and that's how we got our target. Okay, so that's where we're aiming. We're aiming for 0.57 on CHR. Okay, so if we can get 0.57, we'll probably see a small pullback there because that's going to be a long run. That's 33%. So first we got to get up to this neckline. It's going to be the third time, so we should break, hook, potential re-entry again for somebody, and then go right to the target. Then a potential sell-off, maybe as far as backtesting this previous high. Okay, then you run again. Next time you break it, this will be the third time again at this level, backtest it, break, hook, and go again, square up with the previous all-time high, backtest it, probably sweep it. Okay, and this is where you paint your kind of standard head and shoulders, and then you proceed to sell back off. Okay, that would be what we want to see here on, what is this? CHR. And then at that point, we'd, again, that's how we create that parabola, right? So this is where you get far away from it. You come back, you back test it once, get back far away from it again, come back, back test it. You finally fail through it, right? And then you regard it again, back test it as resistance, fail, sell off, okay? So I know this seems choppy, and I know we're slightly a hair underwater here, but nothing has happened, guys. Nothing, absolutely zero has happened since the alert entry. Okay, look. The only thing, last night we ran this up, okay? We created this candle last night when we tweeted this for everybody to ape in, okay? So yes, it's back at entry, that sucks, whatever. We came back, we squared it up. It took a lot of work to do that, okay? So what happens is you come back, you square up a level, you now again confirm this as support. As long as this holds and we do not get back below this previous low, right? Sorry, you just don't want to lose 28 cents. You really don't even want to lose the close at 30 cents, okay? Odds are, though, you shouldn't even necessarily lose 32 cents. So a stop below 32 cents here should be fine. We should round here. We should come out of this and leave these levels. If this plays out as everything else has been, then there's no reason for you to ever see these lows again until you've at least hit this target, okay? So we're at 36 cents. I'm gonna say price hits 57 before it hits 27, and you're at 33, okay? So now it's in much favor for the 57 better. That says, nah, you ain't hitting 57 before whatever this was, 28. But that's what we're gonna take, right? We're aiming up here, okay? And if we get it, payday, right? Fat gains. Okay, this is Reef. Okay, same thing, guys. We just looked at this. This is exactly where CHR is at, okay? So check this out. So you painted a low in price down here on, when was this? March 25th, okay? So you painted this low in price. Then you had a higher low in price on, let's paint this over here. Higher low in price right here on April the 7th. And then now we're proceeding last night to put in another higher low in price, okay? So CHR is literally right here. This is that rounded structure that CHR is attempting to create, putting in a higher, slightly higher low. It's just a partial retrace from this initial target where you came and you hit target 1 of this small structure, where you kind of had a Gartley type bat type harmonic, and you came up and you've already hit target 1, which was a C. Now you're back testing this kind of previous, if this was an inverse kind of head and shoulder, or a standard head and shoulders, this was a neckline area type here, right? So you can see where traders settled up right here on this wick, or where that wick low happened. That's basically what you back tested now, and you kind of painted a low time frame here, scrubby little low, lower low, higher low, kind of inverse head and shoulders, basically just rounding price action bottoming structure, okay? So stop here is currently below the D, which is the entry on this low time frame harmonic. On Reef, stop would be below 0.3 cents, 0.032 cents. Currently, our next target area of interest would be the A high. So let's sweep those highs at 0.045. After that, we could look for some serious targets. Basically, we were looking to then sweep the highs, but you're probably gonna have one before that. Let me paint you one more in the middle of all that. So if we fib from this A high to this D low, we need the 1618 first. Okay, so we're gonna have a couple areas here we gotta deal with. We need this 1272 to deal with, and we got this 1618. If we can take care of those, then we can get to that highs. So we got some work to do. Ultimately, though, this is exactly what we wanted to see here. This is that higher low confirmation, break, hook, or just back test and go. Back test as support, SR flip type thing. Okay, so 0.044 cents next on Reef. AVAX. Okay, guys, same thing's happening again. Okay, let's get rid of this box here, clean it up a little. Okay, so we put in the low, we put in the higher low, and even a slightly higher low, right? So it wasn't the cleanest thing, but it's definitely higher lows, right? Definitely higher lows. And now you also have this basically vertical rising trend line where we're just gobbling up at the supply, right? The bulls are just chewing it up. And when you get back to this level, you have the slightly higher low, you have the higher low, you have the neckline. If you can break hook and go here, you're going to see $48 on AVAX. Current price is 33. So this is kind of, we like to see this type of structure. You guys are probably getting used to this. X, A, B, this is 886. We got a bat. We're going for the 886. 886, 886 with a 50 on the B. Okay, so ultimately you're gonna see this one too. The first target is the measured move. Okay, so we have this measured move of the structure. That's how you get target 1, target 2, 886, bearish bat. If the bat fails and you're able to sweep the highs, then you morph into the butterfly. But I mean, you could see as high as 1618 if that happens, which is $85. But before all that happens, you need to take care of this. You got to make sure to invalidate that bat, because you're gonna paint a pretty textbook bat here at $55, and it's at $55, right? So again, psychological number, 886 fib. If we were to fib from the previous X high, all-time high, to the A low, you can see the pink line there is the 886 at $55. So that's something we got some work to do there. But for now, I would just say our main interest here is to just break, hook, and go. We got to start there. We got to start there, okay? AAVE, same exact thing. You're just a little bit ahead because you've touched that neckline again. So again, look, this is a higher low, okay? So you had the double bottom with the slightly higher low, which we like to see. Now you got a slightly higher low again. You've back tested the neckline again. You're checking all the boxes, okay? Anywhere between anywhere from where you are right now to, I would say, this previous level that was kind of this consolidation area, that chop, anywhere in there that you could reload if you're not in on this right now, get it, because everything is painting here for, even if you do this, even if, and that'd be a miracle, you're gonna go like this, you're gonna back test this again, hold it, and then you're gonna send it, okay? What is this? AAVE. Get ready for it. $500. It's coming. You're below 400. You're gonna go above 500. 550 probably. Okay. This is what happens. Here we go. Cosmos, Atom, Cosmos, whatever this is. Oops, sorry guys. This is just playing out a little sooner, right? Everything's at its own kind of time frame as far as playing out, right? But look at this, slightly higher low, right? We had the up sloping. We put in the initial low, February 23rd. upsloping trend line, okay? Stops below the previous current low. Now we've hit this previous neckline that we created over here. We've back tested it and we sent it. Look at that. As soon as we got above it, we held that sucker, broke it, held it. As soon as we held it, we really confirmed above it, and then bullish engulfing, okay? So you should see some follow through price action here, continuation to the upside. $27 incoming on Cosmos. We were in this from like 1850, right? 1877, I think, something like that. So anyways, we are looking for Cosmos to sweep the highs now, okay? So we're kind of painting coinciding harmonics. So we have the low time frame, local X, A, pretty high there. B, not bad though, still 886. C low, 618. D high, let's go for this. Let's go for it. 618. See where this gets us. Actually, this was 1414, huh? Okay, let's just see. Let's stop right there at the 1414, okay? Now, let's take our tool again, and let's do another one. X, A, B, C, and what do we got here? 1272, 1272. Okay, so the first one on the bigger one will be the 1272 right there. So does this hit the 1618? Oof, there it is, boys. Okay, basically, see how I parked 1618s right by each other? 1618, 1618. Sweep the highs, that's coming. $30, front run it. Lock it in. Lock it in. 1272, 1618, 1618. Lots of action right there, boys. That's the kind of thing you look for, is these fibs that overlay. But that's pretty solid there. We should see a nice run up that's going to sweep those previous highs, which were around, I don't know, like $27, where we put in the X on the larger blue harmonic. And basically you're painting like dual butterflies here. So those butterflies are going to, they're going to touch somewhere out here. Again, duration is irrelevant. You're like, how's this butterfly behind it? It doesn't have to be. Now it's in front of it. Oh, look at that magic, right? So see, this one kind of looks good there because it just kind of looks good, right? Artistic, aesthetic, but it's irrelevant as to where these land. All that we care about is the price and the fib level, okay? So what do I mean by that? I mean, from here to here, you see that blue line, 1618? Well, that's going to line up with a 1272. It's going to be yellow from here. Watch for the yellow. There it is. Yellow line, blue line. They're on top of each other at the target, okay? That's what we're doing here with the fibs, with the harmonics. 1 inch. We had a request for 1 inch. Okay. So 1 inch here. Okay, guys. So again, we've painted the higher low. Sorry, let me get this a little more over. Okay, so we had our initial low February 23rd. That was where not all of them painted their lows, it seems, on February 23rd. Then you had the next higher low March 25th. Now you had the even more local higher low, which we look for as more confirmation to the upside, right? Trend is in our favor. We had the upsloping trend line here off of the A low, running it through the C bottom low there. Okay, we had the neckline painted a neckline, real nice neckline there. We had the break, back test, and then bullish engulfing. We hit target 1. See what happens when you hit target 1? You sell back off. You back test the previous high of the B of the harmonic, right? Back test the previous high. Look, it's there. Tell me it's not there. Back test the B. Kidding me? Okay. So this is what we're looking for on some of these other things. Back test the B. It's not the end of the world. Reset. Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Okay. So nothing has happened, nothing to freak out about. Never once would you have been worried. This is exactly what you should have been expecting, and you got it, all of it, continuing to get it. So if we're continuing to get what's expected, again, nothing is certain, but if we had a plan and we had to outline it, this is how it would be outlined. So now after backtesting this area, we shoot the highs again. This would be the third time. Rule of three. 1, 2, 3. This time it doesn't hold. Target 1 is now flipped. SR flipped. Target 2, $7.6. $7.68. 1 inch. This thing used to be like, I don't know, it's cheap. Now it's going to be over $7 pretty soon. Current price, $5.60. Okay. Current stop loss should be down here still. Sorry, let me paint that for you. Current stop loss should be below this previous discernible low at like 440. Wait until you get back up to this target 1 area. As you start to leave and exit from this back tested level now, you could bring your stop up and use the neckline, okay? Once you use the neckline is done, that's when you would then turn back into that as your stop, okay? 1 inch. Oh my god, look at what Dodge did. Alert, alert, alert. Dodge has hit duck, take profit, target 2. We got trades filled. Duck's out of this trade. We exited this trade during the stream, didn't even know it happened yet, okay? I'll go check some orders later, and we're out. I'm out. That's it. C'est la vie. Parabolic trend is in progress. Duck and Elon have sent the doggy parabolic. There it goes. Okay, guys, so look, this is what I'm talking about. Look how far away we are from this trend line, or from this parabola, okay? So think about that as a moving average almost. Yeah, that thing's just gone absolutely berserk. Whoa. Okay, so that was, yeah, that was stupid. All right, so this is what could happen though on these shitcoins we're in right now, boys. So like AAVE, CHR, AVAX, they're all right here at this level, right here, painting that slightly higher low. Look at what could happen if you're patient, okay? There's no different. Go hide the asset. It's the asset, the underlying asset here in the situation is irrelevant. Okay, all we're concerned with is the structure. That's it. All we're concerned with is the structure. Okay, so Doggy Dog, Snoop Doggy Dog has hit take profit target 2. Duck is out. That one is nice. I might hang this one up with the rest of the ones. I'm running out of wall space though. So, shit, I'm gonna have to go digital. All right, Bitcoin Cash, target 1 hit, target 1 SR flip complete. Maybe we backtested again, but ultimately Bitcoin Cash is going to be at $870. What a trashy asset. To be paying $870 for this trash, you got to be out of your fucking mind. But that's irrelevant because we didn't pay $870. We're going to sell it to somebody for $870. Check this out, bro. Got some B cash here. Give them to you for $870 a piece. Smoking hot deal, right? Got a bunch of them for you. You can have them all. Buy today, okay? X, A, B, C. Let's get it. What did we get? We got the 886. This is what I'm talking about, okay? So watch out. This is where you have this, you've painted a bat right there, okay? So this is where a bat, if you fail and invalidate it, and if this goes equal highs, okay? If this goes over right here, then the bat's invalidated. You now go to the 1272, okay? 1272. This is just the conservative target. That's where we were on the 180. Gotta be careful here because if this turns into a butterfly, this could go to the 1618, okay? This could end up at $1,000. And what would that be? Psychological $1,000 on Bcash could be in the cards, boys. What has to happen here for in order for this to have to play out? Bitcoin needs to be at 70,000, maybe even above it. But she's running here. If I could get a short off on $1,000 on Bcash, I'm gonna open up I'm gonna do a short at I'm gonna do a short there, probably at low leverage, like 2x or something, 3x, just in case you get some kind of weird price action there. But $1,000 Bcash short is almost like, if you don't do that, I mean, what are you even doing here, bro? You might as well just check out. All right, what is this? This is theta. Okay, so theta, let me extend this trend line. We haven't been here for a little bit, it looks like. Request for theta. All right, what do we got going on here? We've painted our first low. Again, probably February 23rd or March 25th. Excuse me, March 25th. Put in the C low April 1st. And now we've continued to paint higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, right? You can see this trend line just holding, right? So eventually this is coming to an, you know, an whatever you want to call this, like an apex, where eventually something has to give, right? As this kind of coils up in here, right? Imagine this was like a Bollinger Band or some shit like that. Basically, what typically happens is, as you get through this, say this was the start of it back here on March 24th, and the end of it would be up here on like April 1st or something, whatever, or April 30th. Call this like 60% of the way there, right? 60-70% of the way to the tip of this kind of wedge. Well, by the time you get, you know, around the 70% mark, that's where Bulkowski says that the pattern usually it'll come out of the pattern. You rarely see this get all the way up in the tip, okay? So what I'm saying is, don't expect that. Expect something more. Maybe you touch it again, but basically you're gonna come out of this, okay? So, and it's not gonna be over here. That's all I'm trying to say, okay? So as far as like a duration type of thing, sooner than later on theta. I have to always check what these are because I don't care what they are. I just care about the structure, right? Again, you see these higher lows. Continue to just trail. Your stop can now be above this previous low. So now your stop could be at $11. I'd be hanging out right there. Wait till you break back above this. Again, we got to get that neckline, right? We got to get that neckline at 13. We got to get back above 13, break, back test, and go. Then we sweep the high, probably get it, back test the high, maybe even the B, and then we go again, right? Get a target, get another target. So this is just like the dog, right? This could be the dog. You could be looking at that a couple weeks ago and dog would have looked just like this. When I tweeted the first tweet, dog was like this, bro. ADA Cardano, not as clear of structure here, but I still don't have any problem with it. It looks like, I don't know what the all-time high is on this. Are we at the all-time high? Could somebody throw that in the chat? So again, you got this neckline here. It might even be a little tighter of a neckline. You could even say it was down here. Okay, yeah, that's pretty conservative neckline. Okay, we'll go with that. Okay, so sorry, I meant to put that white for you guys. Neckline, we put in this initial low. Let's clone this up. Let's bring this up here. We got a higher low painting. We got the the upsloping trend line painting right here, right? And you could see what I was talking about. See how this is making a wedge, and you see how we did not get all the way to the tip of the wedge. We only got about 60 or 70% of the way there. and then whammo, right? So whatever that last one was, theta, I think, you're like right here. You're right here in this sideways chop. It's just trying to just annoy you into boredom, so you close and then wham, I'm gone. And then as soon as you buy in here, it back tests, puts you underwater, and then you sell again, and then it goes again. And you just got wrecked twice when you could have just held and went to Valhalla. Okay, so right here we got the X high, A low. Man, we could call this one the B here. We got a D out here at the running that trend line, and we're looking for 1272, break the highs. Okay, 1272 on Cardano, $1.50. $1.50. Okay, pretty sure that's the high. Yeah, the previous high. Look at that. So when you get there, okay, this is why we like this one. So we're gonna hit this a third time. Okay, so here was the first time back on whatever that was, February 28th. Okay, so Duck's birthday, you got the initial high, you ran this over, you put in an equal high, sold off, right? But look what you're doing again. You're approaching those highs. Okay, this is probably why it's not a bat as well. Okay, so somebody might paint this as a bat here. Okay, they're gonna say, oh, 886 right there, we got a bat on 88. But what you don't realize is that when you run up at a level like this and you chew up the supply, it's gone, right? There's nothing left to reverse that bat. You have a chance. I'm not gonna say you don't, so you do got to keep that in mind. But as soon as you invalidate that sucker and you break that high, you're gonna go parabolic. Okay, so yeah, maybe the bat acts like a little bit of initial just because it was a bat, but once this breaks, you're gone. Okay, $1.50 city on 88 Cardano. Okay, now we're on to the stonks part of the stream. Promised you guys a little bit of stonks. Whoops. So you guys requested some things in the channel we created today for stonks, and I pulled a fair amount of those out of here. We're gonna cover fairly quickly here, but we will still cover quite a few of them. Okay, so if I'm just gonna cover this really quick by saying, if for some reason I did not pick your stonk, it wasn't because I don't like you or I didn't like your stonk. It was because there was no edge. Okay, the ones that we're about to cover here, I already ran through the whole list of them and threw in a couple more of my own for you guys. Okay, so there's a reason we're covering the ones we're covering. There's an edge here. Other assets, if there's not an edge, we just leave it on our radar and we wait for more price action development. We wait for more data. Okay, so on these ones we've identified a potential edge. Let's see if we can play this edge, and that's it, plain and simple. Once again, we could hide the asset, the underlying asset here, and we could still just be painting these the same way we would if they were crypto, if they were stonks, commodities, forex. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's a structure. Do fundamentals play some part? Yeah, I'm sure to some degree, but not really in my world, and I've done fine so far without them, so not about to start now. Okay, so again, we've identified these for a reason. We're on the Tesla 4-hour chart here. Okay, guys, so let's put a little paint down, Bob Ross this thing, clone it up. We got a higher low structure. Okay, so box 1 checked, putting in higher lows. The trend is changing. Okay, do we have a neckline? Pretty solid neckline, I would say. Let's say, yeah, pretty solid neckline around this area right here. Okay, so we got a neckline breakout. You have created a gap. It's a little concerning. Maybe you come and get it real quick and you backtest this neckline. Whatever. Not the end of the world. We don't really care. So what are we looking for now is our measured move of the structure, okay? So we're going to take the low and we're going to take it to the neckline and we're going to bring that up and we're going to create our first potential target, okay, on Tesla. Let's paint that and let's see where we are. That is basically $836 on Tesla. Current price is $762. Okay, so now let's see if we have a coinciding fib level. We're going to fib from the previous high to low of the structure, and it looks like we have the 786 at 8.25. So I'm going to bring this down and I'm going to say we're going to target the 786 because it's close enough to our measured move and it's a critical fib level and it's kind of a support, kind of a square up over here, okay? So target 1 on Tesla is going to now be 8.25. Target 2 is going to be sweeping the highs. So in order to sweep the highs, we need a harmonic here. X, A, B. We got a 50% retrace on the B here, which means we're looking for a bat. 886. We got a 786, which is between a 382 and 886, so we're good. We're gold here. Next, we'd be targeting a bat 886. 886 is in the same level where that measured move was and where the 786 was. So 886 bat. So now we've created basically our zone. So we've created this area here between the bat, PCZ, right, completion zone on this bat, and the measured move, okay? So we have a targeted area here between 8.25 and 850 on Tesla. You should see that. If you can break that and hold 850 level, we could then potentially see this bat invalidated and we get the butterfly 1272, okay? If we get the butterfly 1272, price is basically right there, $1,000, just like Bcash, okay? Tesla, $1,000. Has it been $1,000 yet since the split though? Doesn't appear to have. So $1,000, they're gonna have to split this fucker again, okay? Tesla, front run it, $1,000. Next, Marathon. Okay, here, Marathon, opposite here. So this is kind of played out, in my opinion, where you had your low, higher low, you've kind of ran your highs. So now let's look for the bat, right? Or the butterfly, excuse me. X, A, B, little deep, but still shy of the 886, so still valid. 786, 1272, got it. 1272 right there, sold off. Okay, so that's the initial reaction. We said it. When you get these butterflies, you hit that 1272 first because that's your initial reaction of the breakout, right? And then what happens? You back test the previous high. There's the B back test. You've now regarded it as support and you're going to run again. So now that the 1272 has been regarded, we can take it out of the equation. Next target level, 14141618 area. Okay, so if I were a marathon, I can probably get one more. I can probably get one more push out of this, up into this level at $59 up into the $64 area. At that point, your butterfly is gonna have hit its 1618. Okay. So at this point, you better, be out of there, taking profit. No more long on Marathon at that point, and no more holding long. That's greedy. Okay, same thing, Microsoft. Again, this isn't already playing out here, okay? So I'm trying to show you why some we enter, some we don't, okay? X, A, we're too late here. X, A, B, you could even say take the B here. X, A, B, C, 1618. 1618, baby. Give it to me. Give it to Poppy. Right there. There it is. Okay, guys. Alert, Microsoft earnings approaching 1618. Potential, look for something like this. Potential sell-off, potential double top at the 1618. okay? And then you sell off. You're gonna back test the B, okay? Target, something like that. So if I were a Microsoft person right here, I'd be looking for something on the second, wait for that second one, and I would be back testing the B, something like that, okay? And now that we have that target, we could put this 3 to 1 right there. Your first area could even be the X, like if you want to be a little more conservative here and you want to hold up on the X, you could even have targeted this first target back on the X like that, and then you could have had a second target that would have been something like this, right? And on the second target, that's where you're gonna come down and you're gonna grab that B, previous swing high from the harmonic, okay? So let's see what happens here. You got earnings approaching right here, okay? April 29th. So look for a potential double top at the completion zone at earnings, and look for a potential bad earnings report, or maybe a scam on the books or something, right? They like, there's your FA for you. There's your fundamental analysis. They like to release the FUD at the PCZ of the harmonics. It's like they do have a technical analyst on staff, somebody who's like the CFO or in charge of everyone's 401k and whatnot. He's the one that's, you know, charting your charts for your company basically, and somebody's going to release the FUD at certain levels, and also at entries. That's when they're going to say, oh, new product's out. So it's like a double pump, right? So it was going to pump anyways due to the technicals, but then they release a new you know, whatever, new Xbox comes out once this dumps, right? So okay, so look, here's when the Xbox comes out. X, A, sell off, run back up, partial decline, and right here, right there, release the Xbox, Cinco de Mayo, new Xbox. All right, that's how that goes, right? In the world of a working product. It's hard to relate that to crypto because none of them have a working product. All right, so what do we got here? End phase. This one's from Duck. Gift to you from Duck. Okay, so X, oh, sorry, not X. First low point, okay? So we had the initial sell-off, right? We had the initial impulse down, and we proceeded to, you know, get bought up a little bit. We bounced, but then we sold off again. But on that sell-off, we proceeded to then put in a higher low. And now again, this past this week basically have confirmed an even higher low. Okay, so we're basically 3 rising valleys, Bolkowski pattern here on end phase painting. We have a potential neckline here. So okay, so we have a potential neckline here. Okay, right here we have our upsloping trend line, something like this, right? So, okay, so now we've got structure. We've created structure, okay? We're starting to buy this up. Look for reaction on end phase incoming. You got earnings too. So this is probably going to send to earnings. And I'm going to tell you right now, from an insider standpoint, earnings are bullish. All right, X, A, B, C, start 886. Okay, for start, just as a conservative, even if this is bearish, this is gonna be a bat. Okay, so start there. Now, if and when we get to the bat, again, we see a potential small sell-off there, okay? Maybe it's just a trap though, right? It's an earnings trap for some people. They're like, oh, earnings, we're gonna sell off, and they buy some puts, and they find a small sell-off start to occur, but really, it's just a fake out, and you end up sweeping everything because your bat then morphs into a 1272 butterfly, okay? This is almost like, I could envision this one happening. The product is extremely bullish right now, okay? Duck doing some private consulting. Okay. All right, next we have Plantator Tech. I don't even know what the fuck this is, but it doesn't matter because I don't care what it is. All we care about is the chart, right? We do not care about the underlying asset at hand. Okay, here we go. We put in a scam wick low on March 5th or something-ish there. And we proceed to put in now a higher low. Structures painting. You're starting to trend in an up direction. You've got a potential neckline, again painting. You've got a gap fill above you. Let's see, let's start doing some fibs. So if I were a fib here, boom, I'd be right there to here. I have a gap. Let's even fib this from the previous structure low. That looks better. Once a 618 gap fill, okay? You see this right here, guys? Right here where this gap in price happened at earnings, where they fell on earnings, you have a 618 retrace. So what does that mean? That means you're going to get into the golden zone here, golden retrace between the 382 and the 618, okay? So the 618 being your golden retrace, that's the level that you are looking to get up into on whatever this is, planetary. So look for a break, hook, traders will load up, go, okay? Fill the gap, and maybe you hold break above this level and you go for a square up of the top, okay? So something like that on planter. Alibaba, okay, this one. Okay, this one is more of a daily thing. Yeah, okay. We're still okay here. Just a little pullback. Okay, so check it out. Similar action here. We had our initial sell-off down, right? We had this initial sell-off. We found bottom. We created, we rose up, right? We had this partial rise. We sold off, put in a higher low, okay? So now we've got a decent little neckline here going. You could take it to the top if you want. Decent little neckline painting. Let's zoom out a little more. Let's run this neckline out a little more into space. Okay, we have an upsloping trend line painting. It's slight, but it's there. You're gonna see another, you need to see another higher low here. Somewhere up here, okay? You need to fall back in here and sit on this higher low somewhere. Paint some hidden bull. Okay, so you gotta come up here a little more, sell back off, and then you can go hit this break, hook, go, okay? So if we can get that, we'd be looking for fib level from the high to the low, probably a, that neckline's really high for this structure. You know, I'm gonna say we could even probably almost bring this neckline down. It would make more sense there. And if that were the case, we took some kind of measurement to that neckline, okay? And if we took that and we brought that over, let's see where that falls. More in the golden zone, so I could deal with that a little more, okay? Kind of sweeps this local high area. So something like that on Alibaba. And then if we still stay bullish here, we could potentially start, you know, we're gonna do one of two things. We're either gonna paint the bat here at the 886, okay? So again, target area could be 886 bat right here, 300. But if we break the bat, again, we go to the 1272, which could be as high as 350. Long story short, you have a small gap to deal with locally. Aside from that, you're pretty much gonna start running here. You're gonna end up somewhere up there on Alibaba. MicroStrategy, this was selected. Very, very, very bullish looking asset here. Of course, you have Bitcoin pumping to all-time highs right now, making MicroStrategy's asset book probably the largest it's ever been. Sailors walking around the office with his fucking cock hanging out. I don't know. All right. here you go. Higher lows, structure, neckline. We got neckline breakout. We got higher lows painting as far as upsloping trend line support. We got a gap. We just filled the gap. Just filled the gap. Okay, so it makes sense. Fill the gap, partial decline, back test. You got the break, fill the gap, back test, hook the previous neckline, go. Okay, we are full send here on MicroStrategy. You got a minimum 886 bat in play. So again, similar situation across the board. You're either going to stall at the bat or you're going to invalidate all these bats and you're going to paint some butterflies and crabs. Okay, so a bat's going to be up in here. MicroStrategy, you got another gap here. See this gap back here on February the 10th? So let's fill that gap, and that's probably where we're going to find ourselves. Right there. $1,200, 1222 on MicroStrategy. And that, look, that's out of earnings. April 29th earnings report. So if the earnings are bullish and everyone's bullish on MicroStrategy and their asset books looking bullish, the bat invalidates and we send this thing to the 1272. And now you got 1272 is at $1,500. That's probably where you end up, boys. $1,500 MicroStrategy. Current price $864. Write that down. This looks like AMD. Again, this looks like Enphase. Enphase and AMD and MicroStrategy were the three best ones for the call section. The puts, you're looking at what was it? Microsoft, and we had one other one. I'll post all of these charts in the traditional section of the Duck Lab after the stream is over, and kind of regroup a little bit. Okay guys, here we go. We got it again, AMD. Time to send. All right, we got our structure. We got our previous high. X, A, B, C, D, 886. Where's he at? Where are you at? Something like that, guys. We're looking at a breakout on AMD. You're basically put in that higher low now and a kind of swing low failure pattern on a low time frame where you had a low, a lower low, and then followed by a higher low in price, kind of confirms a bottom potentially is in. You also filled this gap that you created March 31st. You do have a small one down here, but again, just because you have a gap or a square up, just like our square ups on crypto, right? Our gaps on stonks, you could come get that gap. There it is right there. You could come get that gap later. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to get it locally. You could run this up and then come back, get the gap, okay? There's nothing that says you have to fill the gap immediately. DraftKings, this one, nothing as discernible here, guys. Sorry. This would have to be some kind of cipher-ish. Not saying this can't pump too. I just like more of a clear edge here, okay? We have a clear edge on Enphase. We have a clear edge on MicroStrategy. We have a clear edge on AMD. Why are we fucking around with DraftKings? But if this was something, you're going to get a cipher and you're going to go 786, okay? So if I was the cipher, I would look like this, where you have a lower low. See how the other ones all had higher lows? That's a more bullish structure. See how Cypher kind of fails, 786, doesn't even have as high of a retrace, where those other ones have an 886 minimum, and then if they can break that, they go up here. But your Cypher doesn't really do that. It would be a shark at that point, and even a shark on its best day is only going to do a 113. So a shark would be like this, okay? Oh, not even. A 1.13. So a shark would stop right there. But if this had a higher low, just a slightly higher low like this, That shark now becomes a butterfly and it could go to a 1618. So you see how much more bullish it is by getting that higher low in versus that lower low. So that's important here. But DraftKings, yeah, Cypher 786, maybe you get it. I wouldn't play this. I'd play some of the other ones. Qualcomm. Okay, guys, see, this is better at least here, okay? So this is better than DraftKings. So again, here you put in the low on price, proceeded to then put in a higher low, okay? And it's slight, but you did put in an even slightly higher low right here, okay? You see, if I zoom out more, I'd have to make this much smaller. Something like this. Sorry, guys. Okay, there it is right there. There's your there's that slightly higher low that we're kind of always looking for. Then you got this neckline here, right? And you've got the back test of the neckline. You got a swing low failure pattern at the neckline. So this is a long entry right here. Qualcomm, alert, alert, alert. Break, hook, and go. Back test, potential entry. Targeting the square up, fill the gap. 3 to 1. Stop loss can be as low as right here, which is below that previous low. Exactly what you want to see. Targeting 160 on Qualcomm. Probably buy a couple of calls in the morning just to fucking do it. All right, there you go. Oh, and if you're buying calls, don't buy calls freaking same day, 1 week out type dumb shit like that and buy 100 million of them. Buy one call like 6 months out. I know this is going to play out in like a couple of weeks. I don't care. Don't do the low time frame calls, please. They're worthless. They're traps. They decay. They take your money. You make none. You'd be better off just buying spot and holding this than kicking yourself in the balls with a 3-day call. Okay? Alright. Shockwave. This is playing out. This is what I'm talking about. Okay? So, this is invalidating the structure. Okay? So, X, A, B, C, 886 was here. Okay? You got it. You parked it there for a second. You parked it. You sold off a little bit, but it didn't hold. And now you're above. See how you're above the equal highs. So this is going to go 1272 next. So next area of interest on Shockwave is the 1272 at 155. You see how all these things line up with pretty psychological areas here. Okay, guys, so it's a little tighter than that. It's like 153. But front run 155, okay? Shockwave. Doesn't mean it's a short there. It means we look at the divergence. This could go to the 1618, remember, and it might be over here on earnings, okay? So, careful. FedEx. Looks like it's kind of just played out here. Nothing discernible. Again, looks like you kind of painted another bat here. X, A, B, C, 886, 886, 886, 886. Oh shit. Uh-oh. Alert, alert, alert. FedEx. Earnings have passed. Next earnings are far, far away. So something has to give here. This is either going to nuke back to the B. Okay. If this nukes, you're going to get a back test to the B. Okay, very, very likely. But if you can swing and break the all-time high here, you could get the 1272. Okay, so you have a couple options there. Buy a, no, never mind. It's already playing out. Never mind. Okay, that's kind of what you're looking at there on FedEx. A couple of options. Boeing. Boeing. Let's zoom in here. Maybe we got something on the low time frame here. Local. Yeah. Okay, you're developing a little something here on the local price action here. So we got this initial low we put in on March 25th, okay? It's kind of local little guy. And now we've obviously are proceeded to put in a higher low. So we've got the higher low in, okay? So a little bit of structure here. Nothing too defined, but nothing too bad either. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Okay, so here you go. Next, you got the harmonic X, A, B, C, 886, first target area of interest. Let's see, let's reevaluate Boeing when we hit 272, okay? Holler at me at 272. In Segro Group, I don't even know what this ticker is. Ticker is, geez, I don't even know. INSG. Thought maybe somebody would want to know that. Okay, so quickly let's evaluate this. Okay guys, same thing here. We got this initial sell-off here. Probably a failed earnings report. It looks like that's when that happened. We got a higher low, and we've got a double bottom. Bolkowski double bottom at the second higher low. If we have divergence coinciding, we do. Okay, you see how we got that equal higher low, and they were unable to even paint another negative histogram island here. You couldn't even paint one. All you did was paint more positive. And look at this RSI. Up, up, up. Okay, so this is what you want to see here on whatever we said this was in Sego. Okay, so what do we see next? Gap fill time, boys. Let's go get it. Neckline, local neckline. So we got this low time frame neckline, and then we have a larger neckline that we're going to create. Okay, so this might still take a little work, but we got a couple levels there. Okay, we got a break. We cannot lose this area here as our stop. Stop is 850. Okay, target, gap. Go get it. Anybody like gap fills? Target $13.91. There you go. Let's see if it's a critical fib level. If it is, you're gonna get it. 50%. Nope, 382. Moderate retrace. So you should almost be able to lock that in. Duration is the thing. Look, you have another gap fill right there at the 618. So that's your layer out in these areas here between 13 and gap fill 1650. C3.ai Inc. It's found a nice double bottom here at literally the bottom. Okay, so this is basically what you're gonna do here is you're just gonna put a really tight stop. Okay, if you lose, like, you could be a little more conservative, but not much. Like if you lose $57, it's just gonna keep bleeding off. Okay, so really tight stop. But if you can hold this level, you might just might have bought in absolute dirt bottom here. Okay, so is it worth a punt? Sure. Would I bet the farm? No. Okay, you got a gap fill up here. Let's see if we can get that. All right, let's see if we got a coinciding critical fib level overhead resistance at the gap fill. We do. 50% Dow's theory. Okay, again, we'll get the 382 to the 618, golden retrace, gap fill right in the middle of it. Okay, tight stop, tight stop. Okay guys, back to Bitcoin. Nothing really happening here. Ethereum backtesting that previous high. Ooh, Litecoin full send, baby, full send. YFI just hanging out at that third higher low. So again, we have this low, higher low, kind of higher low, maybe even another higher low, right? We're looking for this money zone off of this harmonic dash, target 1. Chain link approaching overhead resistance. Ethereum Classic approaching a target. Maker hit a target. Just kind of running through them. This laggard, CHR. Again, don't sweat it. Don't give up hope here. There's a lot in store for this one, okay? Those who give up on this one are going to get bit. Not bit, but you're going to be like, damn it, where can I get back in on CHR? I sold. All right, bro. I told you in the stream you're going to do that, and I'm not going to help you. Your best bet is way up there, okay? Neckline, back test, but that's a long way from here. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show with the stonks. We'll be doing more stuff like that to come, more requests and all that good stuff. So appreciate you guys. Yeah, appreciate the tips. You guys are fucking kings. MDT, we got the tip. We had some big tips in the Discord today. I mean, appreciate it, guys. See you back in there. Good night.